Hello and welcome to Travel Trader day number 119, and today I want to talk to you a little bit about some essential in trading that you always should follow. But before, the nice thing about trading, as we all know, you can do whatever you want, wherever you want, so you're totally free. And this morning when I got up, I really didn't feel like I want to trade and I want to do any index or day trading. So I decided to take the day off and rather spend the time at the beach, doing some workouts and all these kind of things. So I had an amazing day reading a nice, interesting book, but I didn't day trade, and therefore there's no day trading results for today, which is all right. Like later on, when I had a look at the markets, I saw that I would have made a whole lot of money, but sometimes it's more important to be able to enjoy life rather than doing all the work. So that's what I chose for myself today. That's why I went off. So we don't have a lot of trades. However, we got triggered in some, if you watch the pictures of the trades, you would always see something where we have the actual trades and some orders in there. So I had around 7 orders in the market to see if something happened. So therefore we still have some results. Closed trades today is I closed the silver position as it didn't look like it would go anywhere in our direction in the near future. So I got rid of it, and we took a small loss of €487.48. And we have one of the triggered trades that went in our direction but then came back, and I decided to close it as we have some more US dollar positions, and although like with one of the positions I'm out of any risk anyway, but I decided to not have like twice the amount of risk that I want to, so I closed the US dollar Japanese yen position as it was the weakest signal as it looked like, and we made €30.92 on that. So these are the 2 trades that I closed today. Apart from that, our British pound euro position is still going sideways, currently down €2,826, but we still have quite a good chance that the market turns in our favor and we will make our money back. However, if that shouldn't happen, I already put in some order for repairing it. So if we should go up with the British pound rather than going down, we would simply turn around, make our money back, and everything is fine. I switched the silver position to a gold position. However, the gold position currently is down €498. So we're still waiting for gold to come down again. And then we come to our new trades. One of them, US dollar Swedish krona, I already opened yesterday. Yesterday it was a little bit indecisive, slightly negative. Today it went up in our direction, and when I checked on it, it was up 14,560 Swedish krona. If you calculate it, it's €1,360 roughly, depending on the exchange course. But that's the euro amount in it. We have another US dollar Singapore dollar where we are also short, where we are up 309 Singapore dollar and 60 Singapore cents, whatever that is. Probably have to look that up. That would be roughly €202. And now you understand that because the US dollar Japanese yen got triggered as well due to the weakness of the US dollar. We had 3 open positions in short US dollar. So US dollar Swedish krona is already in a position where whatever happens, we will get out with a profit of at least €600. And our US dollar Singapore dollar position is about to, if you drop a little bit further, we might put our stop into a break even, so we won't have any risk at all. But I didn't want to have a third thing on, and when I saw that we automatically got triggered due to a breakout, that's the reason why I closed the US dollar Japanese yen position with some profit. New trade from this morning. Before I took the day off, I put in a position in zinc, and that works quite well in our favor, and we are currently up $570. So that's the results for today. However, as I said in the beginning, I want to talk a little bit about some trading essential. Today I had for me, rather unpleasant conversation with someone that had a trading idea, and he went short in a stock, and that stock initially kind of went a little bit down but then came back up, and it's one of the airlines that actually got rescued by a government. So of course now that the government guarantees for the company and they put in 9 billion into that company, the general idea that behind the trade was, okay, the airline won't make a lot of money because all the planes are grounded due to Corona, and therefore they will have huge losses. However, the implementation of that idea came weeks late without a real trading signal. Otherwise, he would have made a fortune on it already. And now the situation was that he still entered a trade, and for the reason that, okay, airlines obviously are grounded, and it went into his direction in the beginning. And that's actually the worst thing that can happen to you. If you have a position and you go in there for no reason, and due to pure luck, we still are in a kind of 50-50 environment from day to day. It either goes up or it goes down. Now you feel like you've done something right, but actually you've done something completely wrong. And now your original trading idea gets it vanishes away because the government says, okay, we will rescue that airline, we will put a lot of money into it, and therefore people get in and buy. So you basically now you have no downside because of all the money coming in at the moment. There's no reason to sell that stock, so it literally can't go down because why would it go down? You have a government that guarantees for the company, so the story on the downside is over in that short position. And now the question was that, it now went up, so he was about break even, and the question was, yeah, but couldn't I just wait and see whether it will go down? And that's basically the advice that I gave him in a certain way that he had to think about it for himself. But if your trading idea, and that's a general rule of thumb, if your trading idea is not valid anymore, whatever it is, don't try and justify it with something else. Yes, that stock might go down in several months along the road, but your indicators will tell you that it will go down anyway, so why not jump into that trade when you really know it's going to happen, rather than hoping and holding on a position that might as well lose out a lot, because with all that money coming in, coronavirus restrictions getting cut back, so there will be more and more flights and so on and so on. Oil is cheap, so kerosene will become cheaper as well. And yes, I know it's not that easy because they will they will be invested in futures, and they fixed their oil prices for quite a while, but after that it will very likely be cheaper than it would have been otherwise. People working for the company are on furlough schemes, so government pays part of the money anyway, so there's literally nothing that can go on the downside. And then there was the glorious idea of so now I'm a little bit in a positive, and I put out my stop loss because I don't want to get stopped out, because when you get stopped out with a loss, then the loss becomes reality, and most people don't want to face a little loss. So the idea was, okay, I either put my stop loss very far away, which would translate, okay, rather than taking a small loss now, I want the big loss in the near future, because that thing shot right up at that moment. So rather than taking a small loss immediately, I wanted to make a big loss. And then rather than exiting at a point in time where it could have been exited with a profit, the idea was, okay, maybe I shouldn't put my stop loss far away, but I can put my stop loss a little bit higher, so that rather than taking, just making up some numbers, but let's say rather than making €100 loss now, I go for a €500 loss in, let's say, an hour or tomorrow or whatsoever. Which would translate in, okay, rather than taking a small pain now and a very little loss, I rather go for a pretty much guaranteed loss that will be way higher. So both of these ideas obviously were pure nonsense, but when you are in a trade, and that's why I want to talk about it, when you are in a trade and you now have to face that you might have to take a small loss, uh, the last thing that you want to do is admit that you were wrong or you had the wrong timing, and therefore you now have to take a small loss. So people tend to wait, and out of a small loss or out of a very actually, when we were talking first about it, it was like, okay, do I want to settle for a small profit or do I want to gamble further? And I said I personally would get out immediately as long as I can with a profit, and then just find something else to make your money with. And then as the talk evolved later on, it wasn't about do we take a small profit now, it was about, okay, do we take a small loss or do you want to grow it big? And that's the big problem for many traders, because they shy away of taking small losses, so things get out of control. A small loss becomes a medium loss, becomes a big loss, and if you keep on holding on an idea that's not even valid anymore, then you will result in huge losses. And that's exactly the completely opposite approach that we have. We want to have very small risks. So if our trading idea is not valid or goes against us, plus I forgot to tell that, but he had like 3 indicators saying now, okay, if you want to trade it, you will trade it in the upwards direction rather than in the downwards direction. So the big lesson here is that sometimes you have to step away back and see, is my idea valid in general, or is the idea no more? If the idea isn't valid anymore, then get out of the trade, because the rest would be hope. And when you hope, you make a small loss to a big loss, and we always want to have very small losses but really big winners. And that's the big lesson of today. Sorry for talking so much. I'm pretty sure the person that I'm talking about is well aware of that I'm talking about him or her, but that's okay. I think in hindsight, when she thinks about it and steps back a little bit and looks at, okay, what did I really do here, then she will notice that it might have been a pretty silly idea. But I get that when you're in the trade in your head and you look at it, then the last thing that you want to do is think about it and rationalize it, and then just get out with a small loss. So that's what I wanted to share with you. So you, when you ever get caught in that situation, immediately remember it, and then like, oh, okay, in that situation I take a small loss, I make sure that I can come back tomorrow, and that then I can put the money that you saved, then you can put that in a winning trade, and then you make much more money back than hoping that something would go back into your favor. That's it from today. Tomorrow, if I feel like it, I might do some more index trading, make some money in day trading as well. So otherwise, I'll keep you updated anyway. We probably have some nice trades coming up very soon. Thank you very much for watching. I wish you a great evening, and see you guys again tomorrow. Thank you and goodbye.